The system told me to redeem the villain, but I set my time travel coordinates to the year before the villain was even a fetus. The system was dumbfounded, then it clicked. Oh, you're planning to adopt the villain later and give him a complete happy childhood, right? I shook my head, looking gently at the little girl squatting on the ground, shivering in the cold. No, I'm here to save the villain's mom. True, the system mused, instead of trying to conquer the villain with romance. It's better to influence him with familial love so he doesn't grow up twisted. Wait, what did you say? You want to save the villain's mom? The system panicked and tried to stop me. Host, are you confused? If the villain isn't redeemed, you'll be erased. I chuckled lightly. System, are you stupid? What's the main reason the villain goes bad? Being abandoned by his mother. And why was he abandoned? Because his mother's life was miserable. So if I save the villain's mom and she raises him with a healthy mindset, won't he turn out just fine? The system crashed after my barrage of questions. It took a while for its slow little brain to reboot. That actually makes sense. I wagged a finger at it. So don't question a boss lady again, okay? The system nodded dumbly, and I turned my attention back to the little girl in front of me. It was a freezing December, and she was curled up outside the door in thin clothes, shivering like a little quail. My blotches covered her exposed forearms. Sensing my gaze, she looked up with a cold, guarded stare. Then she quickly looked down again. That look was exactly why her biological parents didn't like her. Well, that and the fact she was missing a certain appendage. I stepped past her, grabbed the heavy knocker on the wooden door and banged it hard. Who is it? Who's banging on the door this early? A middle-aged woman in a red padded jacket came out cursing. She looked me up and down, her eyes filled with disdain and hidden jealousy. Who are you? I cut to the chase and threw an IOU at her. You're Hank's wife, right? Hank owes me $200. I can't find him, so you pay up. Or I'll tell everyone in town about your husband visiting hookers and skipping out on debts. The woman picked up the note and panicked. Liar! My husband isn't like that. You seductors must have seduced him. I knew it just by looking at you. Before she could finish, I impatiently picked up a wrist-thick wooden stick from the ground and snapped it in half right in front of her. Pay your debts. It's the law of the universe. Pay up or else. I flashed a smile, showing all eight. The woman was scared silly, her arrogance gone. She smiled, fawning lie. It's not that I don't want to pay, we really don't have the money. Maybe wait until my husband comes back. I frowned. The woman shut up immediately. My gaze swept around the small courtyard, finally landing on the little girl squatting by the door, secretly peeking at me. Then give me your girl to clear the debt. She's young but she looks okay. The woman froze, looking from me to the broken stick at my feet. 10 minutes later, the little girl was trudging behind me, one shallow step after another. It wasn't until we got into the taxi heading to the city that the little girl spoke in a muffled voice. You're a trafficker, aren't you? Where are you selling me? I was surprised. Why would you think that? I'm your family's creditor. The little girl shook her head. My mom can't read, but I can. The paper you threw at her was a supermarket receipt. I asked the system in my head. Did the villain's mom ever go to school? The system confirmed and gave me a brief recap of her life. Helped with farm work until she was 16. Ran away to the city to avoid marrying a rich old man. Worked odd jobs, tricked a rich CEO into sleeping with her, got pregnant with the villain. Later, the CEO's first love returned from abroad. The villain's mom couldn't win against the first love and was driven to death by the CEO. She's also a cannon fodder villainess. I shook my head. T.S. King. They're all villainous supporting characters. Why does the system only redeem male villains and not female ones? If you gender minus swap this character, he'd be a dark, tragic, sympathetic boy. He just lacks a certain part. Seeing I wasn't talking, the little girl tugged at my sleeve. When I looked over, she immediately pulled her hand back as if afraid of dirtying my clothes. Can you sell me to the city? I look okay? I'll fetch a good price there. The driver in the front kept glancing back in the rearview mirror. I face minus panned and quickly explained. I'm not a trafficker. I'm just a poor mother who recently lost her daughter, so I want to adopt you. Well, I was a mom in the last mission world. Since I left that world, it counts as losing a daughter, right? The little girl stopped talking. She lowered her head like a dirty kitten, seemingly defenseless but tense all over, ready to explode at any moment. I recalled my parenting experience and reached out to hold her red, cold little hand. Only then did I realize how rough her hand was, covered in calyces. Meeting her white minus showing eyes, I took off my coat and draped it over her. She instinctively tried to take it off. I stopped her. You won't sell for a good price if you freeze. She froze and stopped moving, wrapping herself tightly in the down jacket, only her fuzzy head showing. My heart suddenly softened. Don't worry, I don't have a son. I won't sell you for a daughter later. My identity in this world was a fake heiress who had just jumped into a river after finding out the truth. She died, so I borrowed her identity. When I walked into the villa with the little girl, a voice was still trying to persuade the real heiress. Although she's not related by blood, the years of affection are real. And although Julian was originally your fiancé, Anne has been with him for so long. How can we just give him to you? I don't want to hear it. If not for her, why would I have suffered for so many years? Now you're taking her side. I hate you, I hate you. Their argument stopped abruptly when I walked in with Yuen. Yuen was the name I gave the little girl on the way, taking my surname Flower. Full name Flora Yuen. The real heiress, Flora ran, turned her head away, refusing to look at me. Mother Flora asked gently. Anne, who is this? My adopted daughter, Flora Yuen. Yuen, say hello to your grandma and auntie. With the system's help, Yuen, who had just been registered, finally stopped suspecting I was a trafficker. Right now she greeted the two stunned people obediently. Hello grandma. Hello auntie. Mother Flora reacted first. Wait Anne, what did you say? Your adopted daughter, registered. Why didn't you discuss such a big thing with the family? And your fiancé Julian, how could he accept this? Flora ran focused on why should she call me auntie. I do want to be your sister. Before I could speak, Yuen instinctively stepped in front of me. She hunched slightly, arms tense like a mother leopard protecting her cub. I paused, then reached out and held her small hand. It's a long story. I'll explain after Yuen settles in. As for Julian, I'll break off the engagement. Mother Flora got anxious. Are you worried your dad and I won't want you after Ram came back? Don't worry, you'll always be our daughter. Flora ran rolled her eyes. Here we go again, playing hard to get, huh? Stupid green teachy. I shook my head and pulled Yuen upstairs, dropping a bombshell on them along the way. I got sterilized. I plan to stay single and raise Yuen. Tell Julian to give up. With that, I silently pulled Yuen out of their sight, leaving them in the wind, savoring the words sterilized. Back in the room, I collapsed on the bed. The system was still yammering. Host, when did you get sterilized? Why didn't I know? Aren't we together 24/7s? I rolled my eyes. System, are you stupid? If I didn't say that, how could the real heiress let her guard down? Instead of playing happy sisters, giving up inherent rights is much more effective for her. System, oh, right. I suddenly suddenly remembered something and turned my head. Sure enough, a certain little dumpling was still standing stiffly at the door. On the way here, I bought her new clothes and took her to a salon for a hair wash. The stylist gave her 2 little buns. She looked like a doll from a New Year painting. I waved at her. Yuen slowly shuffled over. Are you going to get kicked out? I pulled her out to the bed and asked, why do you think that? She whispered, because you're not their real daughter. I looked at Yuen's pointed chin. Good, this kid is smart. No homework tutoring needed. I didn't explain immediately, just followed her logic. So what if we get kicked out and have no money? She said seriously, then I'll farm to support you. I'm good at farming. I can make compost. Ceci I planted the cornfield behind my house. Her head lowered further. As long as you don't send me back. I finally knew where all the calluses on her hands came from. My heart soured. I hugged her, letting her small pointed chin rest on my broad shoulder. Don't worry, I won't send you away. Not in this lifetime.